Welcome back, everybody. You're watching African Heritage Television.
Well, in continuation of the part 1 of our discussion, we will just summarize everything by asking Mr. Baglo, who started the European debate, to quickly round everything up in 2 minutes. Well, I'd like to make an observation. And when I spoke about the colonial or legacy of Africa, I was alluding to the idea that before giving political power to the Africans, the management of economy should be part of that process, because politics and economic management go hand in hand. And to just give political power to the Africans to manage their own affairs, which is okay, but the economic component should have been addressed in the process. Thank you very much, Mr. Baglo. Mr. Davis, 2 minutes.
Yes,
2 minutes.
I'm going to quickly jump into that because I'll give Nigeria as an example. Before the British colonial master, before they departed Nigeria, there was no oil. Oil was discovered after they've left. And I remember the former head of state, Gowon, when he went for an OAU meeting in Uganda, he said money is not our problem.
How to spend it is the
How
problem.
to spend the money. You see, we need to stop blaming the colonial master. To me, they have no part in this, to be candid. God has blessed Africa with every natural resources you can imagine of. The only problem we have is leadership. And you hit it the other time when you talk about the materialistic. That is what is killing us. I want to have 50 billion in my account so I can take care of my 444 grand children.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeosi. Your 2 minutes is over.
Thank you.
Rosemary Asha, 2 minutes.
Okay, and you know what? Just to add to what he was saying about amassing wealth for themselves, at the end of the day, when they die with the wealth. That's why it's so. Because we're speaking with a guest on our show, and he said something to the effect that Nigerians, as Nigerians or Africans in general, we are traders. We are not business minded, because once they die, that wealth that they amass for themselves, I mean, it dies for them. So what is the whole essence of all this madness? I think you know, it really needs to be addressed.
And if I can quickly give an example.
No, you cannot.
Yes,
You cannot.
yes, you
Your
can.
2 minutes is up.
Yes, just 1 second. In order to buttress what she has said, look at Abiola, Concord,
Gone.
dead. Wonderloaf,
Gone. Right.
Abiola Farm,
gone.
but you know why?
Why?
Bad leadership. Abacha made sure that he annihilate everything. You see, government is the only business in our continent.
That is
if the government is fighting you, they fight you to the ground.
That is debatable.
No.
They were fighting Tribune. Tribune is still succeeding. Even
who was fighting the Tribune?
Tribune was UPN paper. Was Awolowo.
No.
Yes.
When Tafawa Balewa was fighting the Tribune was shut down for a while.
Tribune was part of Nadeco.
No. They are not fighting Awolowo.
No, I mean, when you talk about the government, Tribune was part of Nadeco, and Nadeco was one fighting.
Mr. Davis, you remember Abacha stopped Concorde. Abacha stopped Concorde Airline. They withdrew all the licenses because he was fighting MKO.
And it's sad because they make it personal.
They personalize
They make it so personal. Like,
government is the sole business in the continent. That is just the problem. When you are against the government of your country, they fight you to the cleaner.
Yep.
That is it. You can abuse Obama here. Nothing is
nothing.
be wrong with your. I just told you something on the radio today.
Right.
Dr. C told us that Abacha said he wanted to buy AIT from him to start his campaign.
And the guy said no.
And the guy said, no, I'm not the only owners. I have international partners. Abacha, the next thing Abacha said, okay, if you're not selling it to me, then pack your AIT and leave my country.
Can you imagine? That's too much power.
Because the guy cannot go to court. Abacha is the head of every court. You cannot go anywhere. He's the ultimate man. And the next thing you're going to do, you're going to find yourself dead on the street. So the man took his wife out and he was about to run out before Abacha died. So that was it. But I still have my 2 minutes anyway. 2 minutes.
So not just that was a relief for him.
Yeah, it was a relief for him. So my 2 minutes submission is going to be this. You still have 2 minutes? Yes, because I was reacting to them. I still have my 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
And plus, I'm the moderator. Every time I want.
And I'm watching the time too.
Again, about the African mentality.
So, well, and in all honesty, we are the one that send the European away. They don't want to go when we ask them to leave. And those people who chaperone the living of Africa were our brothers who study here. The one we call nationalists. And we have the Zig, we have the Nkrumah, we have the Inyereres, we have every one of them. They study, the Jomo Kenyatta, they study in abroad, especially after the Second World War. When they came back and found out that the whites are dying, just like them, the whites are not superior to them, so they came back and said, okay, you told us that Germany cannot rule the world. That is why you guys are fighting Germany. That is why you came to Africa and said, okay, follow us to fight Germany so that they wouldn't rule the world. And you are ruling us. So what leadership quality do you have to rule us if the Germans can rule you? So they started asking those questions. They are brilliant people, but their brilliance were cut short by the military guys. They shut down Nkrumah. Tafawa Balewa was killed. And you did not hear Tafawa Balewa amass any million anywhere in the world. You did not see Nkrumah amassing wealth anywhere in the world. Ahmadu Ahijo was not doing all that. The forefathers in of Tanzania was a teacher, and he did not even have much. So you see these false nationalists trying to move their country. Look at Sekou Touré. Just because Sekou Touré voted for independence, the French people casted all the development in his country away. Things like that. The false nationalists actually had a very good and open mind. But what happened? The soldiers cut them down in their prime.
Right.
And when the soldiers came to every country, that was the beginning of mother of all looting. So that is going to be a subject of another time. We are moving into another segment now. We will be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We still have our panel with us, and we're talking about how to make our nation and our continent in Africa better. Stay with us as we round up on this last segment.
Okay. You see, it's not every time you go have collection of Mr. Adeusi
And Mr. Bangle, that's true.
Because they are as scarce as the European pound sterling or the British pound sterling. So we have to maximize their time and make sure that they don't run away, because when they go now, it's very hard to get them back.
Absolutely.
But we will be back next week with another set of people, with another set of topic. But Mr. Baglo, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to tell me how we can encourage investment to the motherland from the diaspora.
Okay, thank you. I think
Tick.
we're wrong with that. I believe very strongly that those of us that have been blessed to travel outside the continent have an obligation to give back to the continent. And this is what we call inter-collaboration. That is, Liberians interacting with Nigerians, Nigerians interacting with Ghanaians. How do we form corporations? Normally, we should not be seeing each other as Liberian national, but as Africans united to foster economic activities in the West or on the continent of Africa. And for example, I would like to see a Nigerian and a Liberian collaborating to form a business, have a business. Go to Morovia and open a little business. Or go to Nigeria, open a little business. Go to Ghana. Ghanaians and Nigerians interacting to form businesses. Because those of us in the diaspora, we have the expertise.
Excuse me before you go ahead. What do we have ECOWAS for? We already have that, Mr. Baglo.
No. ECOWAS is different. ECOWAS is a regional or political regional organization. We're talking about economic investment from the diaspora. ECOWAS had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
ECOWAS had nothing to do with that. For example,
Because you can move from Nigeria to Liberia and establish a business under ECOWAS. You know that?
I know that. But I'm talking about a Liberian and a Nigerian and a Ghanaian collaborating, forming a corporation, went back either to Nigeria or to Liberia or to Ghana to set up a business. You provide employment for your people. You are independent of government activities. You can also influence policy. You can also, through your economic power, you can also determine who becomes the president of Ghana, so that, or Liberia or Nigeria, so that they can do the type of things to be of service to our people.
Don't forget that the president of Nigeria, the president of Liberia, the president of Ghana, Guinea, and all those countries will determine your fate, even if you want to bring a business to Nigeria. They can force your business out, you cannot use a business to force them out of power.
Yeah, but they can do it to a certain extent. But you see, look, if the diaspora is organized, this is why we have an obligation to organize our organizations to be more functional and proactive. If you have a very functional African organization in the diaspora, most of the foolishness we talk about that taking place in Africa can be controlled, can be curtailed. Because you see, you have a business, and the business is being interfered with by the government forces, then the diaspora can also exert power to make sure that doesn't happen.
Hold on to that thought,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking of something that I was telling some colleague last year, that we need to start doing Pan-African legislators and choose our own president and our own everything here, or just on paper. We don't have power.
No, but I'm not
so that we can discuss certain things and pass it on. But I want Mr. Adewusi to contribute his own 5 minutes,
right.
then we'll come back to you.
Okay, very good.
Mr. Adewusi, 5 minutes.
Actually, thank you once again. I have a different perspective to what we're talking about. And we're talking about moving business from the diaspora to Africa. It's a good intention. And when you have intention, how to actualize that intention becomes the problem. To me, as at now, when we talk about the atmosphere, and I'm going to use Nigeria as a case study. For any diaspora person to say, I want to go to Nigeria or anywhere in Africa to invest, you need to have a conducive environment. You need to have protection of property and lives.
Security.
You need to have security. You need to have a place you know that somebody will not come overnight, all because of political difference, and overrun you out of business, and there will be no recourse. Look at what is going on in Ogun State. When the former governor, OGD, whatever he did, I didn't know, somebody died because they said the business he handed over to that person was a government business, and that man must have poured probably all his millions into that.
Billions.
And the government of Amosun, and I'm not judging them, came and took it over. Just like that. Nothing. So it's a good thing for us to envisage. But to be candid, as at we are now, as at today, there is bigger problem in Africa, and it has to do with security of lives and property. If I go to Nigeria, the time I fear the most is when it's turning dark, because I don't know what's going to happen. And I'll give you another example of a pharmacist in Massachusetts. Last year, he went to Nigeria. He was taking a pharmaceutical company back home. I was in Nigeria when I got a phone call. On his way to the airport, he got killed. He left 3 kids here. He was taking the business to go help his community, but his business partners over there, they were not looking on how do we make this business to prosper. They were looking on how to cut short. So until that time comes, although there are some business people are doing now, they are importing cars, buying cars there. You may call it buy and sell. It's still part of the thing. But then there are still the custom and people there who, instead of them allowing process, you have a duty to pay. This car is 10,000 naira. You pay it, you get your car. But do we have that? No. So I support the idea. We need it, but there are a lot of groundwork that needs to be done. And I hope the government will create that conducive environment for that to sustain that business. If you look at now, Western Union says the money that Nigerians are sending home is the second
largest.
In when you talk of the economic return of Africa, of Nigeria, what we are sending in terms of money through Western Union, that is the one you can account it for, not the one that will say, oh, Mr. Topper is going to Nigeria, take $100.
Yes.
You are not accounting for that. We are investing there, but it's not really investment, it's taking care of our people. That is how we're investing now. We need that conducive environment for us to be able to have that confidence and say, I am investing my $10,000 hard-earned money. What we have here is hard-earned money.
Your 5 minutes is up.
Thank you.
It's quick. Okay,
No. Miss Osho will talk, then Mr. Baglo will talk again. You see, I've been keeping quiet since. I've been a good boy.
Well, my take on this, I think I agree with you that there's a lot that needs to be done. And there's so much trust deficit between us as Africans anyway. We don't trust each other, even if, like Mr. Bagla said, that a Ghanaian and a Nigerian and a Cameroonian or any other country in Africa can come together and start a business. We don't even trust ourselves to begin with, so it becomes a problem doing that. But then again, there is so much stuff that needs to be done in terms of, like he said, security. I mean, okay, was it recently or a few months back, I remember that you took a mission to Nigeria, the Black Diabolite. I mean, that's a major issue in Nigeria. I don't know of any other country in Africa, but in Nigeria is a major issue. And because of the epileptic power supply, a lot of companies are actually moving out of Nigeria. So if we can even get that power supply issue taken care of, I think that will be a start to investing in Africa or in Nigeria.
Mr. Baglo,
I think
3 minutes.
Yes. Again, those of us in the diaspora, we have been exposed to ideas, to knowledge, and to experiences. We need to find a way around our obstacles.
Right.
One of the reasons international businesses don't go to Africa is lack of security, or lack of political stability, or try to prevent foreigners from investing into Africa. Again, the buying power of Africa is not as great as the buying power of the Japanese, the Chinese. We don't have that standard of living that will make demands for Western businesses. Most of the businesses that they do in Africa, we just consume, we do not produce. What I'm talking about inter-trading among Africans is for Africans, for Nigeria to trade with Liberia, for Liberia to trade with, but the ECOWAS is there. But to what extent? It's easier to call from America to call Nigeria as a Liberian than to call from Monrovia to Abuja. It's difficult. Again, we need to we need to try to impress upon our government so that these services can be more efficient. And the more global Africa becomes, the more some of the problems will gradually go away. Now, there's a competition on the west coast of Africa. I don't know if you're following. The Nigerians envy Ghanaians what is going on in Ghana. The Liberians are envying Ghanaians. Oh, Ghana is developed, oh, Ghana is good. Because of that, leadership in Nigeria and Liberia will be forced. Look, if the Ghanaians can do it, we also can do it too.
Right.
So let us be serious, you see. Because self-pride. Look at the international soccer matches, the World Cup. When Ghana was here, if you look at the population of Nigeria with the population of Ghana, you can't put the two together. But one of the Nigerian leaders who said to Charles Taylor in Liberia, said, look, if you think Nigeria cannot solve the problem in Liberia, you fool yourself. We have about 150 million people. All we have to do is just send 2 million soya men and just Liberia will surrender. And that is true. Nigeria has so much power. But to me, we need to find a strategy. Let us not be so critical of our leaders. Let us find a way to go around it. There's a way to go around. So at least we can implement, they can have confidence in us. When people are comfortable in dealing with us, when they are secure, then you can move in and do the type of things you want to do. But when we confront them, then it becomes confrontational. Even if you try to invest with all your good intention, they will see you with a different eye. They will become suspicious. So suspicious of your intention, they will frustrate you. But if you find, we need to find a way. This is why we are here. And I think God sent us here for a reason.
And how do we find that way? No way you want to find. There is no way you want to find that they do not know.
Mr. Adebusi, I did not ask you to talk.
I just want to quickly respond. I just want to quickly respond to that. The African leader, the mentality is that, number one, they are afraid of the diasporans.
Really?
I am telling you.
That is true.
Even if you go home, that you want to go and contest an election, they look at you as an outsider.
A threat.
They do not see you.
To their way of life.
They do not see you as a Liberian or a Nigerian.
Yes.
They see you as an American who is coming to suppress.
Right.
Or to distort their own ways of life.
No.
I think it breaks down the corruption.
I think that I'm going to come in at this point. I've been listening to every one of you. Mr. Baglaw, the first thing is this. The leadership of the Diaspora Association, i.e. Association of Liberian Association, Nigerian Association, Senegalese, Senegambia Association, and all those things. How have they been able to cope with the national of their country that are here? Less than 1,000, less than 5,000, less than 20,000. Are they offering good leadership? That is one thing we need to know. That is number one. I have the Senegambians, the Pan-African Society. They have more than $60,000 lying in the bank now. They don't want to invest in anything that is going to turn the money around. They don't want to do anything. They just want to contribute the money, pay immigration, pay this and that and that. That is all they want to do with the money. They are not open to any other ideas. Just an example. We are in the diaspora. We are trying to say we can do it better than the people home. But we are not even listening to each other here. How do we are not transformed.
Can I come in?
Okay, I'm going to allow you to come in. But we are not transforming ourselves.
Okay,
Mr. Baglaw, you were just telling me how you are going to mediate in the Liberian affairs. And Mr. Adebusi, as a president, is just trying to run away from running the second term.
No, I'm not trying to.
He's trying to give someone else a chance.
Behind all those things, he's been a president, is costing him more time and more money.
And I'm not complaining. I'm not running.
You're not complaining to the panel. We know why you want to go.
Can I come in?
But I'll round up in a minute. Mr. Baglaw, before we can remove the specs in their eye, we have to take out the log in our eyes here too. Right. We are as bad as them. We are just able to have some wider scope because we cannot resort to with things work here. We cannot become vagabond, or we cannot start beating each other on the street. The police will arrest you. That is the only thing that differentiates us from them. And even in some parties, I've seen Liberians drawing each other, punching each other. I've seen Nigerians go to parties and start fighting. Even here. So we are not very different from them. We just have another, well, maybe intellectuals like you people just have another outlook. And who celebrates the Nigerian, the Nigerian leader, the Liberian leader, and all these leaders when they come here? It is us. As soon as they land, they call us. Oh, Mr. Baglo, the president is in town. And I'm sure you're not going to want anybody to embarrass people like me that doesn't really give a hoot about them. Because you might think I'm going to ask a question that is going to embarrass her. Or good luck when I was in New York, I asked a question that embarrasses good luck, and he turned around and said, "Why are you troubling me?" And his head was like, "Okay, why don't you come to Nigeria and ask your stupid question?" You see, it is like that. And it just tell you, if I am in Nigeria, they're not going to tell me. They will just throw me in jail. So I mean, it is part of the problem, but how can we overcome that is what I need to hear from both of you. Okay. We already know that the problem exists. What is the solution? How can we take just little business home? It doesn't have to be $20,000. It doesn't have to be $50,000. Little business that 2, 3, 4 people can say, okay, I am working for my brother or this man, and I'm getting my salary. If you take 4 people in the job market, you've done your bit. And Mr. Baglo, I want you to have in mind that when I'm saying that just a cottage business, Lebanese are the one running even grocery store in your country. That's correct. How much have you sent home to take over the grocery store from the Lebanese that are running it?
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Let me jump in. I don't want to blow my own horn.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not saying you as a person.
I know.
I'm referring to every other Liberian.
Again, let me just give you a little example. A year ago, there was teachers in my town. I'm from Baglo town. I'm the grandson of Chief Baglo. So I'm from Baglo town in Grand Jere.
So you have your own town?
Yes.
So you are very, very high.
So, but let us not go there. Yeah. But they have a school. And when I called the town, the principal told me that the teachers don't go to work. I said, but why the teachers are not going to work? I said, because they don't have that salary. I said, how much? So I said, okay, what I would do, I said, for 1 year now, it's not 1 year, he said yes. I said, I'll send you $200 US every month out of my own salary in America.
Wow.
And each of you will be paid $20 US. Now, there are about 8 teachers in the school. All right. So each of them pay $20 every month. They look forward to that money every month. Then they say, I said, but do you have electricity? They said, no, we don't have electricity. I said, how much for a generator? They said, $500 I will give a generator. So I bought a generator. I sent $500 to buy a generator. Then they asked me to send another $200 so at least they can put wire in those things. I said, $200 per wire. So now they have a generator in the school and they have electricity in the school. Now, the principal want a laptop.
It's a terrible device.
Yeah, yes. When my wife was going to Liberia, she took a laptop with her. And they have a laptop now. Now, sometimes they don't have the internet services that we have. But at least now I have 4 computers that I have. I'm going to send it to them. Now, when the government officials, my cousin who is a senator, the senior senator in my region heard that, he said, oh, it's going to be, my uncle is coming home to run to become senator. You see? You see the mindset?
Look at that.
When I call,
look at that.
When I make a call, he doesn't return a call anymore because I'm coming home to be senator because I do a lot of development in that area.
And the idea is this, I'm sorry.
Trust deficit.
Yeah.
The idea is this. He can do it, but he's not doing it to perpetually put those people underneath him. We are growing more followers, we don't develop leaders.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so what I'm saying now is that later on he found out that I have no interest in a position. He kisses the ground that I walk on. You see? Now he have confidence. He call me every night now for consultation. Because he realized I don't have interest in a position. You got to answer, when you go to Johnson, well, President Johnson, so at least I can get a position. So when you convince, say, oh, I thought you were going to be senator. I said, no, I don't have interest in that. That's not my interest. They are so insecure. They are so afraid of the diaspora. And they have a right to do so. Most of the people who have left the diaspora have become very, very disappointing. Most of our people left from here, working government, are very corrupt.
They are much more corrupt than the ones that they met on the ground.
I mean, sometimes, to me, this is why I'm saying we need to find a way to go around so they can feel comfortable with us, so that we can do those things. My cousin called me and said, look, Senator, now the teachers don't have their salary can come on time. Can you use your office to influence so at least the ministry can pay on time? He said, oh yeah, I'll do that. And he went to the Minister of Bank, and now the post started going on time. This is what I'm saying. We need to find a way out. And to me, again, we have to go back again to religion. We should stop looking at life as materialism. Too much materialism, although it is good, but we need to change our outlook on life. That when you take a position of power, try to be of service. Try to make sure that your people have the basic necessity of education, health, rural conditions. These are things that people need.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bagwell. Mr. Shell, do you have any contributions or any deductions?
I think it's all, you already said it all.
Mr. Remsi.
Yep, I think he has said it out. And I think one of the things is what he said about that complex. And that is what they do home. They do things not because they are interested in doing it. They're doing it because they are expecting a return. So when we go there, we do things like that. They see it as, oh, we are planting this because we are coming home to run, to do something. And the worst is that, thank God that your brother still talk to you now. In Nigeria, probably the next time you go home is somebody's going to find a way to assassinate you. That is the problem we have. And that question still remains, which I think we've not found the answer. What is that way around?
Okay. I'm coming there.
Yes, that way around is
because we've not really talked about the way around. I know you said we have to find a way around. Why you are here today is not to tell me how that we have to find a way around. I know we have to find a way around. Why you are here is to tell me the way around. And I ask you to prepare the way around. And Mr. Adeosi, why you are here is to get me a direct way.
I can give you an idea of what the way around is.
Please do.
You see, you cannot change the whole country at a time. Start from your family, from your village, from your local government. Start investing little by little. And when you invest, like you said, it could be probably you buy a car. When you buy a car, for every one person you give employment to, you are feeding 6 to 10 people.
It's not more than that.
You buy a car, but like what Ms. Osho said the other time, it is still there, that trust deficit. She put it in a very good way. The trust deficit is still there because even the person you employ and you give this car to and said, be driving this car every month, put 50 naira in the account in order for us to have money when this car needs repair. That person will now put the 50 naira in that account. And
so we don't have proper orientation.
I don't think it's about proper orientation. I think it still boils down to what my friend said the other time. That materialistic obsession is so much in us that it's all about what I have, the money, the cars, the houses that I can acquire. That is what makes me this big person. Not knowing that all those things are temporary. You're not going to take them anywhere. The day you stop breathing,
that's it.
You are gone.
That's it.
Thank you very much on that note. I think this panel is lazy. We've not accomplished anything. Mr. Bagwell is not able to take us out of the wood. So we will have to adjourn till another day. And I'm not letting you guys off. Mr. Adebusi will be traveling and Mr. Bagwell will go and retool. We'll reconvene by the grace of God this time next month. We will finish this job that we've started.
We need to find a way around.
We need to find that way around. We need to find that way around. And Mr. Adebusi, please, when you travel, think of what is going on in your surroundings. We want you to come back in peace and not in pieces.
Amen.
Thank you.
So think of what you see, and that can even shape our ways. But on our own part, we will try as much as possible and keep on consulting the embassies. And one disagreement I'm going to have with Mr. Bagwell is this. Most of our leaders are bullied. They are bullied.
They don't want to be told anything.
Anything.
Or what to
They
do.
don't listen to you. Because you're threatening their way of life. Just as your senator brother thought you were threatening his way of life.
Right.
So the only thing a bully understands is you to face him. We've seen that in Saddam Hussein. We've seen that in people like Gaddafi and stuff like that. Mubarak. It's only when the people face him, the people's power. When the people's power face them. But another thing is this. The leadership of the country emanated from those people too. The people too, before they vote, they collect money. They ask for bribe. Before they vote, your senator brother in. He spends more than a typical senator. Senators here don't spend, politicians here don't spend their own money.
No.
It's a national cake.
Yes,
Everybody got to
exactly.
get their own
Yeah,
share.
right.
So over there, you have to spend your own money. So you buy your way into the office so that you go and steal.
Of course,
So,
you have to recuperate.
You
the money.
have to recuperate. It's an investment. It's a
Right,
business.
right.
Somebody, a very good friend of mine, an elderly friend, told me that the type of people get the type of government they
Yeah,
desire.
Yes. And that's what we're
Before
getting
you can complain that somebody is stealing your money, purge yourself. Search your heart if you did not get anything before you vote for that person. Search yourself if you've not bribed anybody before your son or your daughter goes to school. Search yourself if you did not induce anybody before your son or your daughter passed a WAEC or GCE. Search yourself if you did not bribe anybody before your son that is not qualified for unemployment got that employment on the platter of you bribing whoever is in charge. We need to soul search. And that is going to be the end of the submission today. From Mr. Adewusi.
Thank you. I always want to commend you for the good job that African Heritage is doing. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I promise I'll be back.
Like the Terminator. Mr. Baglo.
Again, I would like to compliment the effort of African Heritage. As a matter of fact, I wrote an article called the Tribute to an Outstanding Western Missionary. And they were published by your magazine.
Yes.
And it was also published in Ireland. I sent your magazine, and they took it and they published their papers. And you guys are doing a great job, and I hope you continue. It's a good thing. I'm here in the community, and anything I can do to help you to in furtherance of your commitment to us and your service to us, please feel free to call upon me. But thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Mr. Baglo. And from Rosemary.
Thank you very much, and I want to thank both gentlemen for being on our programs today. I know you could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend the evening with us, and we don't take it very lightly. We do appreciate that. And come back and see us.
Thank you very much. From me, I'm just not going to say anything but to say good night and God
And
bless.
God bless.
ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ bá wa tún lù wá jẹ́. ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ bá wa tún lù wá jẹ́. ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ bá wa tún lù wá jẹ́. tẹ́ bá ń dìbò lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ mọ́ jòjòrò. tẹ́ bá wọlé tán ẹ̀ mọ́ bàlújẹ́ o. ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ bá wa tún lù wá jẹ́.